everyone, Sophia here. Welcome back to the sewing room. Today I'm going to transform this sweatshirt to this with lace and a v-neck. So here's the story. I went to the rodeo for my birthday last Saturday, and every time I go I buy either a sweatshirt, a t-shirt, a long sleeve shirt from the rodeo. This time around I got this sweatshirt and I really like it. It's super comfy, but I want to do something with it that I've never done before. I'm going to alter it. And what I want to do is primarily get rid of the crew neck. I think that crew necks look terrible on most of us ladies. We look much better with a v-neck because it kind of elongates our neck. I want to change the sleeves and I want to do something with the bottom. So again, never did that before. I'm going to challenge myself into altering a piece of clothing to make it more girly, more fitting for my style. If I even have a style. So let's look at it. Cowtown Rodeo, and this one has cowgirl, because I think that the barrel races are a lot of fun. This is mvsports.com, made in Pakistan. I want to do the color. I want to do the sleeves, and I want to do something at the bottom. Look at, what is this? It's not even, see, that's the problem. When you start to sew, you start seeing all of the flaws from other manufacturer. Look at that. Would you look at these seams? Even I can do a better job. Oh my God, this is really bad. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is remove these, the band here, and definitely the collar band. And you know, I'm crazy enough that I may even add some bling to it because why not? If I'm going to be over the top, I could put some bling in the lettering. I have glue, I have everything. Yeah, let's get started. So one of the things that I want to do when I'm doing sewing videos is make them as relaxing as possible. Because I think that for those of you who don't sew, you're probably intimidated by the whole process of sewing, and I don't need to make it more intimidating for you. So I'm just gonna start here, and I'm basically taking the collar, which I'm going to change. So one of the things that I want to do is add a lace trim. I'm going to add lace cuffs, a lace bottom, and do something with the collar, which is definitely going to be turned into a v-neck. I'm going to try to find where this is just a overstitch here. I still have to remove it. So what I'm removing here is the decorative one. What I need to find is the one that's right here. Where are you? It's this one right here. So you get the idea. I'm going to be here for a while. I need to remove the entire collar here. Be right back. Okay, so I got this out of the way. I'm going to remove all of those threads because they're going to be in the way for sure. Remember in Flash Dance? I think that's what started it, where people removed the collar from the sweatshirts. I remember when Flashdance came out, everybody at my school started to do that on the sweatshirts. And I thought they looked much better, actually, to have the wide collar. It's just a lot of thread, because I was done with the serger. Alright, so that's just this. I have to do the sleeves. I'm going to assume the sleeves are exactly the same way. Can I go in straight into this instead? Let me see. Yeah, it looks like I can. Okay, might go faster. Okay, so here goes. That was step one. I removed the collar, I removed the cuffs on both of the sleeves, right? And then I removed the band at the bottom. And what I did was open this a little bit, and they open at about just the same, which is about 2 inches, okay? So step number 2 is protecting this from fraying. I gotta zigzag everything. And that's done. Okay, so everything's been removed, and I have zigzagged all of the edges, so I have a few threads here and there. Okay, and the bottom is zigzagged as well, with an opening on both sides. I could do a bigger opening, but I just want a tiny bit. So now what do I have to do is figure out which lace I want to add. So what I did was go through my stash of lace, and I tried different laces. I actually like this one, but then I figured the holes at the bottom is going to be a problem with lining. This one is pretty good too. If you remember, I have a lot of lace that I found at the thrift store. I have hundreds of those lace trims. This one I felt was a little bit too big, and I just went on. It took about 15 minutes for me to find the perfect lace. This one I like too, but it was a little bit too big, and I felt that I didn't know if I wanted to put it on the front or in the back. This one, pretty okay, kind of like that too, but again, wasn't sure if I want to put it in the front or in the back. So I needed something that was wide enough, that allowed me to have some kind of hem, and pretty much settle for this one. I like that. So what I did was pretty much cut everything. And you remember the little notches I did on the side? I decided to get rid of it. It's wide enough, so I was just going to do a whole tube. But I learned my lesson some time ago. I know better not to go directly to the sewing machine, so I decided to do a rolled hem first. So here I am
basting the whole thing, and I'm starting with the bottom. I'm just turning it one time and then turning it on itself a second time. And at that point, I pretty much realized that the whole idea of me doing the zigzag didn't make any difference because I was rolling the hem anyway. So I don't know if you can tell what I'm doing here, but after I did my first stitch line all the way around, I decided to do a second one to give it the look of having a double needle. So I think it looks a little bit more finished. I think you can see the stitches here. Eventually I'll remove all of the basting, but I think this looks pretty cool. And what I did was put the lace on the underside, so my hem is actually over the lace. So here we go. I finished the sleeves. I pretty much repeated the same process, double hem on the sweatshirt, added the lace, and one of the things that I did was at the seam where the lace meets, I pretty much flattened it to one side and give it a couple of stitches, so that way the seam doesn't scratch or itch at the inner wrist. And I really like it. I particularly like the double stitching. I think it looks a little bit more finished. May not be super straight. I still have to remove all the basting, but overall I'm happy with this, and the only thing I need to do now is the color.
So I am back, and I'm going to cut just a little bit of the collar here, and then what I'll do is that I'll reverse it, and instead of putting lace, because I have a feeling it's gonna scratch or itch a little bit too much, what I'll do is that I'll just do a double stitch. So I'm gonna start by marking where the center is. Right here. I don't want it to be too low. Let's just do 2 inches. There we go. There's no turning back. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it around. And what I need to do is roll it once here and once here. See that? Okay, and then maybe I'll do twice here. 1 and 2. And this is gonna get stitched. But I have to, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do it once and then I'll do it again. It has to be basted. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Let me move my tea out of the way. Let's put it right side out again. You already spotted the bias tape, right? Okay. Look, I have brown bias tape, and I'm thinking if I'm not gonna do lace on the collar, why don't I do bias tape? So it would look something like this. On the collar, okay, this goes here. Just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do the angle. So it would look something like this. Can you see the V? Let me get my hands out of the way. Yeah. I think that's what I'm gonna do. But I have to baste it, like seriously baste it. So I'm still rolling that at least once before I put the bias tape, only because I removed the collar, and as a result I have the line. You can see where the stitches used to be, so I need to cover that. This is what it looks like when it's turned one time. And what I'm going to do is a stay stitch all around this before I apply anything. So that way I know that my collar is going to stay in place. I don't want it to stretch, and it needs to be reinforced. So let me get to the machine. I'm going to do a simple stay stitch all around, catching this, but really it's only to prevent it from stretching any further. So this is what it looks like, and now I can remove my basting. So I've started putting the bias on it, and I'm basting. Then I got to figure out how I'm going to do the angle. So I can either have the angle where this is straight. I don't know if you can see here. It's straight this way into the V, or I bring this up like this, and I think this is what I'm gonna do, because otherwise it breaks the V. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm trying to work. See, this is why I can't have her down here. Bad enough that she's trying to eat the thread. Okay, Mayday. I know. I'm trying to pin something here. All right. This is what the V looks like. Come on, Mayday. All right. So if you leave it open, you end up with like a U. I don't want it like that. I'm gonna bring this here, and it's gonna go right in the front here. Okay. So one is behind the other. I'm gonna pin this, and I'm gonna start stitching on the edges here, and then I'll do another row over here. Okay, done. And it's even. Okay, it's not like that or I did like a triangle here. It's not great, but you know what? Who's gonna look closely? Ta-da! Okay, that's what it looks like. All right, and it's the wrong bra. This one is more like an halter, so you're gonna see the straps. But here's the front. All right, sleeves and the bottom. Sleeves might be a little bit too long, I don't know. But you know what, I'm always bunching my sleeves anyway. So now, to me, this is not great. It's not great work, okay? Let's be honest, it's not great work. But this is wearable, because I don't know if you've noticed, I don't own a single sweatshirt because I think they look terrible on me. But this I can wear. All right, how about I put some bling? It's still a little bit big, huh? Should I take it in a little bit here? I don't know. Nah, I'm just gonna keep it like that. Okay. I think I'm gonna, eventually I'm gonna move the sleeves up. Well, I don't know. What do you think? Move the sleeves up? They don't really bother me. I wanted to keep them at about the same height than this here. Yeah, so I made a V-neck instead. I'm telling you, those crew necks, they look terrible. This is much nicer. It's for lounge wear, okay? This is not for me to go anywhere outside of maybe supermarket or whatever. Okay, let's put some bling on it. All right, done. I put my t-shirt back on. Listen, I think that no matter what we do, when we wear sweatshirts, we look like we're wearing a potato bag, okay? Or maybe it's me, maybe I'm shaped like a troll, who knows? But I like it much better, and I probably would wear it more. It's just too big. It's a medium size. You know what the problem is? It's like you go to those places and they sell those they sell the apparel and they basically do it unisex. So this is a medium man, really. I should have gotten the small. I look like a potato bag, but I like what I did. I think it's cute. I mean, it's got a little bit of bling. I don't even think the bling shows on camera. Oh, maybe a little bit here. Okay, all right, done. Yeah, look where the shoulders are. This should be like way up. All right, well, next year for my birthday, when I go back to the rodeo, I'll go and get me another sweatshirt in a size small. So I just wanted to share one of the things that I do in my spare time when I'm in my sewing room. And yeah, it's not perfect. I am no seamstress, we all know that, but I'm trying and it's wearable. To me it is. All right, so thumbs up if you like that. And if I give you an idea, maybe you have a couple of sweatshirts that are, you know, that you like, probably the design in the front, but you feel they're too bulky or whatever. This is what you can do. You can cut the collar, make a V-neck, put some lace at the sleeves and at the bottom, and make it cute. All right, upcycle your stuff. I have to learn to do alteration. One of you mentioned that in a comment a couple of weeks ago, that I need to do alterations. I have a whole bunch of pants that I need to size down. So I don't know, maybe that's one of the things I'll do next, okay, in my sewing room. Thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe right here at the corner. Frenchy and Tubby down below for my vintage finds. La Boutique de Frenchy, this is where I sell pouches. Let me show you one. I started working on Beauty and the Beast. Look. Oh, okay. Coming soon. And in La Boutique de Frenchy. And that would be it. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.